Guys, it's Andy, and today we're going to be going over Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. So before I get into it, we did this look over on my TikTok. I used the Lash Step Matte About You palette for all the mattes, and then the Eloise Sahara Nights palette for the shimmers. And yeah, this was the look that we came up with. As always, if you want to see these videos first and get the little inside scoop, go ahead and check out my TikTok. All of my what I'm wearing will be in the description, as well as all my socials. So let's get into it. So again, today is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. This movie came out in 2006, and it has an IMDb rating of 5.8 out of 10, which isn't horrible, but could be better. So this is the longest storyline, so let me get into it. In August 1939, a worker goes into labor while working in a slaughterhouse and dies after a complicated labor, though the deformed child survives. The possibly orphaned baby is dumped in a garbage container and found by a beggar later who brings him home. Along the years, the mentally retarded and disturbed boy called Thomas is raised by the Hewitt family, in spite of having psychological problems as well as suffering from an unnamed skin disorder. Later, working in a meatpacking plant in July of 1969, when the facility is closed, the inhabitants move to other places, but the deformed, mentally childlike Thomas flies into a rage after being insulted and kills the foreman. His deranged brother, considered his uncle due to their age difference, executes the sheriff that's going to arrest Thomas, assumes his identity. He starts by wearing his clothes, driving his car through the roads in Texas, and entitling himself as Sheriff Hoyt. Meanwhile, the brothers Eric and Dean are traveling in a Jeep with their girlfriends Christy and Bailey. Eric to serve in Vietnam and Dean escaping to Mexico. When the group has a car accident, Hoyt arrests Eric, Dean, and Bailey and brings them to his house. And then Christy follows them, trying to rescue the trio, trapped in the house of sadistic and insane cannibals in a trip of horror and gore. So, right off the bat, I love that this movie, just like the 2003 remake, has that sense of community. It's not quite as extensive in this movie, but you still have it. You've got, the uncle, you've got the whole Hewitt family being there for him. I like that this one is set more in a meat packing plant than in like the traditional house. I think that is an interesting twist. Let's see. I like that this one talks about his skin disorder and that being the reason that, he takes the faces of people and puts them on his, because he is deformed and has a skin disorder. A lot of the other movies don't really bring that up. They just assume that you're going to know that detail. So I do like that. This movie, for me, overall, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I saw this in theaters when it came out. It was just disappointing. The cadence of the movie is very choppy, and I don't love that. There's quite a lot of gore in this one, but not as much as the 2003 remake that we just covered. And, it's just not as clean. It's just killing with a chainsaw for the sake of killing. And, there was no reason for him to kill the foreman. Yeah, he was insulted, but, so he kills this guy, and then that starts his murderous tendencies, and I just find that that's meh. The storyline of this one is kind of meh for me. It's not my least favorite. The movie we're covering next will be my least favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which is why this one's getting a 3 out of 5. But still, the 2003 one, so much better. I love it so very much. Now we've got some trivia, of course, my favorite part of these videos. So, when Eric gets his face wrapped in cellophane by Sheriff Hoyt, that is actually real. Again, for this movie, Matt Bomer's head was actually being wrapped in saran wrap. R. Lee Ermey said he was very concerned for him, and they left a small gap at the bottom of Matt's chin for him to breathe, but that didn't help much. So when he was having trouble breathing, he would indicate by knocking his knees together. And I just find that that's such an interesting detail. I get people wanting to do their own stunts, but I would not want my head wrapped in saran wrap. This was the first movie to receive Iceland's 18 rating, which I find very interesting on how other countries rate their movies and what gets what rating, but I thought that was a cool little fact. Here we go. In 2009, the horror website An Arrow in the Head chose Diora Baird, that's who plays Bailey, her boobs in this film as number 6 on their list of top 10 boobs in horror movies. I think that is hilarious. I did not realize, I mean, it makes sense that there would be a list of, top 10 any attributes, but like, she has top 6 boobs. I think that's pretty cool. That is as far as our trivia goes for today. And now, of course, we're going to get into our extensive kill list. And this movie has 11 kills, if I'm counting correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 11 kills. So, we start off with Sloane Murphy. Died after giving birth to Thomas, who was then raised by the Hewitt family and named Leatherface. So that is his mother for this movie. So, of course, she dies. We have unnamed meat plant owner, beaten to death by Leatherface with a sledgehammer. I mean, don't be a jerk. Sometimes you push people too far. We have Sheriff Winston Hoyt. He was shot in the face by Charlie with his own shotgun, who then stole his identity. Because, he couldn't let his nephew be arrested like that. No. Alex was shot by Charlie, the new Sheriff Hoyt. Holden sliced in half by Leatherface with a chainsaw, while Charlie was holding him down. Eric Hill impaled by Leatherface with a chainsaw while on a table and injured from having his arm flayed with a knife. The skin on his face was then cut off by Leatherface for his first human mask in this movie, which I love. The seeing Leatherface with the mask of the people he's killed is probably my favorite part of the movies. But I just liked better in the 2003 remake that we just covered again, where it shows him painstakingly sewing and stitching, and it's so creepy, because there's not really any music, there's not a lot of sound, it's just the little bits. We have Dean Hill, who was impaled by Leatherface with a chainsaw. We have Chrissy, wake up! If you've been on TikTok, that sound, I am not into Stranger Things, I've never seen it, don't kill me, but that sound has been in my head for the last week. But Chrissy was impaled by Leatherface with a chainsaw while driving a car. And then we have unnamed motorist accidentally run over by Chrissy's car along with the police officer caused by Leatherface, who killed her. Yeah, when you kill someone who's driving, there's going to be collateral damage, so that makes sense. We have unnamed police officer who was accidentally run over by Chrissy's car along with the motorist caused by Leatherface, who killed her. Again, collateral damage. Oh, and then it goes into a different movie. That is actually it. Let me make sure. Yup, no. So I lied on the death count being 11. I am so sorry. At least I think I lied. I can't count today. You can't ask me to do things. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope, I did not lie. I'm fibbing all over the place. So again, we have 11 deaths in this movie. And yeah, that covers it for what we're doing for today. What did you guys think? What is your favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? Again, when we're done with the series, which we're halfway through now, I'm going to have a video that I have a bunch of just general facts for the franchise in general. And then I'm going to go over my ranking of worst to best personally. But let me know, what was your favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie and or remake? And if you have any horror movie franchises, standalone movies that you want to see me review and want to hear some interesting facts on, As always, leave them in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.